All right, guys, here we are. The map is Cloud Kingdom, and here we have our first Terran player represented today in the StarCraft 2 universe. Member of Team Liquid, it is Liquid TaeJa. Trying to bring things back, take a game off of this guy and maybe some of his teammates too. We'll see. It is a very strong Protoss player from the team SlayerS, winning against a lot of good Zerg so far, but can he take out a Terran? It is SlayerS puzzle.
Well, if any player on Liquid knows the SlayerS strategies, it would certainly be TaeJa. So,
yeah, I'd say so.
that's was a great player for them for a long time. So this is, you know, I've got a feeling that TaeJa is going to feel right at home here. You know, these are probably his old practice partners that he's going up against, so should know their strategies very, very well.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I saw it all the time when I was over there, that players, even if they did kind of switch between teams now and again, would still very often practice with their former teammates. And a lot of friends, or a lot of players just have friends in other teams to begin with that they practice with. So it's it wouldn't be surprising at all for me for TaeJa to be very familiar with Puzzle's play style, and for Puzzle, you know, conversely, to be very familiar with TaeJa as well. So we've got a barracks a little bit hidden here, maybe just trying to scare his opponent a little bit because of the possibility of a 2-barracks proxy. So,
yeah, I mean, we've seen this plenty of times, as it looks like Puzzle, by the way, going to go for a 15 Nexus. We've seen this plenty of times in Terran versus Zerg, you know, but the same rules still could certainly apply to against Protoss. It's just very annoying to have to hunt that down, doubt your build, as it looks like, I mentioned before, Puzzle is going for that Nexus first. Maybe he gets a little bit scared now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the idea behind this is maybe to make your opponent go, oh, maybe I should get that gateway first after all, but most Protoss players aren't going to be fazed by it, but it certainly doesn't hurt TaeJa at all to just give it a try. So he is going to do that. The probe actually doesn't scout the barracks.
And important to note, Puzzle's actually cutting workers right now to get out a gateway and an assimilator and make sure that he has the unit-producing structures up there. Not saying he wouldn't have done that anyway. I'm just saying that now he does find the barracks. But maybe that would have been you know, another probe and then a gateway and then a probe and then an assimilator. But could have certainly thrown him off a little bit.
Well, even though the proxy fake was found out by Puzzle, TaeJa can still feel confident that he'll at least be able to. Oh, he's moving it now. I was going to say, you know, I mean, if you build a building on like the edge of a cliff, you can always turn it into a tourist attraction later and be like, the barracks on the cliff. And everyone will be like, oh, did you go to, you know, were you at Cloud Kingdom, right? Did you see the barracks on the cliff? And they're like, yeah, we went and got the T-shirts and had like a little tour of how they built it back in the 1930s and all that.
My boyfriend saw the barracks on the cliff and all he got me was the stupid T-shirt kind of thing.
I'm sure they have a lot of that in the gift shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty terrible gift shop. I've been there, so
I
don't know. Only keychains. Yeah.
In Wisconsin Dells.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I have funny Wisconsin Dells stories, but
better not knock Wisconsin Dells, man.
Oh, I went to Wisconsin Dells. My grandparents took me there when I was a little kid. All right.
Better, you know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah. No, I understand. And I'm not knocking. And we thought we had an awesome little motel. It was like it was, you know, let's be honest. It wasn't the highest quality motel in the world, but we love those kind of places. And a little mini golf course outside. Cool. The pool had water slides, and right out in front was a giant gentleman's club that my grandparents did not intend on having us exposed to quite a bit, which we found out was probably a front for a prostitution ring. Oh. Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. Wisconsin Dells.
Yay.
Hey, 3rd Command Center coming out for TaeJa, so double gases.
Nobody who lives outside the Midwest has any idea what we just talked about.
Wisconsin Dells?
That's okay. What is that?
Yeah, I rode more go-karts there than you could imagine.
Tommy Bartlett's water ski show. Apparently it doesn't happen anymore because of lake drain. But anyway, that's
REO Speedwagon was playing there when I was there, man.
Wow. back when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
That's true. Hey, there's a game here. And 3rd Command Center is just finishing up for TaeJa. As we mentioned before, he was just sitting on 1 barracks when he double gassed went to 3rd Command Center, but now we see 2nd barracks and a factory coming down right away. So TaeJa certainly matching greed with greed, that Nexus first with a 3 Command Center build himself, but may be able to pull it off if he stays safe.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the great thing is that you don't need to move it out at all once it's done. You can just sit there and make sure that your natural and your main are very well saturated and then move it out when you're feeling a lot more safe. So TaeJa playing in a style that I really love to see in TVP right now. He's going to add on a lot more barracks very soon, I can guarantee you that. And he's just going to try to pump out a ton of Marines and Marauders and just sort of try to crush his opponent when he goes for his 3rd. And so far, that's been working pretty well for Terrans. I mean, it's a situation where I feel like it's a little bit easier for the Terran player to do that than it is for the Protoss player to defend it. And that's always the type of situation you're looking for in your timings, in your build orders. You know, you want to have every advantage that you can.
Oh, so look at this. I was wondering because some Protoss players have been doing about what we're seeing here, which was, okay, well, I know you're playing a little bit more defensively, so we see 4 more gateways coming up now, so it is going to be a 7-gate, and that is certainly going to be very, very powerful. Did I say 7? Yeah, I did mean 7 because I accidentally clicked on the Nexus. It's 7 gates.
Okay.
But you know, we've seen Protoss players follow up with a ton of pressure off of this, and many times, you know, Terran players are sitting back. Do we have double engineering base down? No, but 1 is enough. Investing so much into upgrades and infrastructure, they don't have any units up.
And he's actually going for a bio tank. He's actually not even going for a straight up bio. I didn't even notice that. And you know what? If TaeJa doesn't put down 2 more barracks like now, he has a very good chance of not living through this, because this is going to be a terribly strong attack from Puzzle, and even though he might have like 1 tank with siege mode, he can just kind of, Puzzle can just kind of bull rush his way through, and here comes the units right now. Oh man, this is going to be a very tense situation right now. Siege mode not done yet. TaeJa abandoning everything.
Yes, he is. Looks like he's just going to give this up, and we'll see if it's going to work out for him. So Puzzle containing his opponent pretty effectively to just 1 base for now. Of course, these tanks are about to finish up here soon.
Force field.
Force field's ringing a lot of units. If we can get vision up there, the units from the low ground will be able to pick off a lot of Marines, and indeed a lot of them are going down. Siege mode still has a couple of seconds before it finishes up.
That bunker getting so low, he had to focus his attention in 2 different places, one on the bunker and the other on those units. Decided to go for the units rather than the bunker, so it did live. And Puzzle just simply heading off, and I think that's a great decision, honestly, because he did a ton of damage there. Even if he didn't kill a lot of units outright, you know, he killed a few, he killed a decent amount, but the bigger story there is that he made TaeJa kind of sit back and have to forget about his economy for a while, and that hurts, man. That hurts Terrans a lot.
But TaeJa does have very strong Marine tank following this up, as we mentioned before. Now has 3 tanks, though, so that's certainly a lot stronger position than he was on before. Puzzle, though, going up to a Forge and just sitting on 7 gates and a Twilight Council at the moment. So would not be surprised to see an expansion out of him sometime in the relative near future. But as we can see, he's swinging around with a few more Stalkers from the right-hand side.
Yeah, smartly putting down those pylons at the top of the map as well to let him know if there are drops coming. And yeah, the command center may need to turn around.
Yeah, it will here in just a second, and Puzzle's starting to do a little bit of damage there. Units are not in position to take those out.
Nope, we'll just land anyway.
Apparently, Puzzle's just so intimidated he backs up a little bit.
The Stalker's like, wait, what the?
Wow.
All right.
That's awfully bold. Well, there, finally, Siege Tank's in position. The Orbital Command has taken quite a bit of damage, but any sort of transferring SCVs will be able to heal that up here in a second.
Yeah, and he'll probably want to repair that. I would say that's the definite thing, because you don't want to let your command center take half damage. That's such a brilliantly bold move by TaeJa, just being like, all right, you can just go ahead and half kill my command center. I can just repair it, and that's fine. I've got Siege Tanks. I've got nothing to worry about. So now we see Puzzle going into something that we see a lot of Protoss players doing against this style, going for relatively quick storms with shield upgrades. The reason being that Zealots with charge can actually handle things very, very well. They'll have shields so the Marines do less damage, and then a storm on top of everything, tanks and Marines included. Usually a pretty effective composition against Terran in this situation. So I have to see how Puzzle decides to use that when he finally makes a decision to engage.
And I know we've talked about it on this map quite a bit, but just a handful of tanks can keep you so safe on Cloud Kingdom, even against Protoss players. I mean, these tanks are watching. Look at this. Just the range of this 1 tank can watch so much area. Of course, is it on sieges, so I don't see the range anymore, but still, that being said, an incredibly safe position with just a handful of units for TaeJa.
Now, the big thing that I'm kind of curious about is that TaeJa doesn't often play in this style. I mean, I've seen him do it more often lately, but I don't recall seeing him have a lot of success with it, too. So it's clearly a style that he feels is very strong, that he wants to kind of incorporate into his builds a lot more and improve here. And, ooh, some tanks being caught off guard a little bit there. This attack may do some damage. Storm going down on a lot of units, and the tank dying very quickly. Whoa, TaeJa maybe in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Puzzle trying to move in and do some damage right now. Throws down some force fields to trap some of those units as well. The Zealots have taken quite a bit of damage, though, but it looks like they're going to be able to power through the last couple of bio units. Not a lot left over, but an Archon joins the mix. SCVs are pulled off of the line, and the Archon going to start chewing through those SCVs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one little problem for Puzzle is that his units were focusing down that refinery rather than the actual offensive units. It's kind of a symptom of the long range of the Stalkers, but it looks like it doesn't matter a whole lot. Puzzle just absolutely tearing apart this army, finally getting pushed back by TaeJa, but that was some damage. 22 SCVs lost.
22 workers killed. Oh, at the same time, there was actually a drop off to the side as well. Did that kill many workers? No, just two of them at the moment. Drove some units off, and that actually gives TaeJa a little bit of breathing room to sit back, resaturate his bases. He's still on 57 workers and is building triple mules, so it's not like his economy is in the worst place here. So don't get me wrong, Puzzle did some very real damage there, but TaeJa certainly still has the ability to macro his way out of that.
Yeah, it does help, definitely. TaeJa getting aggressive here after this, kind of counting on his opponent to maybe not have as many units as he might otherwise, blinking to try to do some damage to that medevac. Yeah, I think TaeJa's going to need to pull back and play a little bit more defensive. Look at taking a fourth possibly here. And
we do have Mobius reactor on the way, so ghosts are going to be hitting very, very soon. There we are. In fact, they'll start to be thrown in pretty quickly as he is past the point now. Oh, wow. Taking a little bit of damage from a storm, taking a lot of damage from a storm. Will he be able to put on pressure afterwards? Yeah, he is actually able to take out almost all of the Templars. Just one more remaining, and it does go down, but none of the Zealots were touched.
So basically, we just had Puzzle trade some Templar for medevac energy is what it amounted to, because he didn't really kill a lot of units. He just did a lot of damage to that army. I mean, if you select it, even with those medevacs over there, there's a lot of healing left to be done. So that's going to be pretty much using up all the medevac energy, which is something that Puzzle's going to be able to use to his advantage a little bit later on, especially now that he's switching over to Colossi. So interesting decision there. Good trade, I think, by Puzzle, and we'll have to see if it benefits him a lot later in the game.
That's right. Both players going for a fourth at the moment. Puzzle trying to run on through. Is he going to attack into this? Looks like he is going to try and take out a couple of units. TaeJa picking up, though, off to the side. Storm warding back a couple of units, but TaeJa doesn't take too much damage from it, so supplies are evened up one more time, and both of the force are just about to finish up. Oh, but here come 4 Zealots.
Yeah, and where are the defenses for TaeJa? Needs to get some Marines and Marauders there right away, otherwise these Zealots could do some damage. He's going to need to pull those SCVs, but it looks like TaeJa a little bit out of position right now.
Looks like he's a little more worried about the rest of the stuff that's happening at the moment, as a few Marines here, but unfortunately they're all going to die. Finally, workers cleaned up, the Zealots cleaned up, but 5 more workers did go down.
Oh man, TaeJa looking to maybe do a big stim there and try to move in to kill that fourth, but the army for Puzzle is right there. Only 1 Colossi, though.
And looks like he does stim up, but does recover those pretty quickly. It looks like the Templar trying to get in position. TaeJa with pretty good control, though, pulling back, now splitting a couple of his units up, and has dealt with a lot of those Zealots efficiently, because unfortunately Puzzle didn't have a lot to back those up.
Yeah, did he have the energy for Storm on those Templars?
Yes, a few of them.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As so you can see, there you go.
Deciding that it wasn't the time yet. It's not the time, had to be patient. He does have 3-3 on the way. Thermal Lance is almost done as well. Ghosts starting to pop out now for TaeJa, getting that +3 weapons himself as well, and starting that Viking production too to try to handle those Colossi. So we do see the tech switching going on between both players here.
Yeah, that's right. We can see here, though, big warp in, and does take out a Zealot, so hopefully that should give away the position of a couple of pylons here. Not actually down to the bottom right, it's away around the corner, so this is where Puzzle's been warping in
Pylon
from.
is perfectly safe, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. Cloak on the way, too, for TaeJa. I do like that. Upgrade that some Terran players do choose not to get, but I think it's if you have the income, you might as well get it. Nothing but beneficial in this situation where you can sneak up and get some great EMPs on your opponent, and like many TVPs often do, this game is going to come down largely to unit positioning. Whoever has the best position for their army and controls the best during the fight will probably end up winning the game.
And both players are sitting on 4 bases at the moment. 4 more Vikings coming up now, so it's going to be 6 Vikings to 3 Colossi. Actually, a 4th being finished up as well. And Destructible Rock is going to go down here in just a second. But more Zealots are swinging through, and yet again, more damage being done here. Oh, those Ghosts actually going to get cleaned up.
Oh, EMPs. He's really like, I've got to do this before I die because it's getting too hot, but he does lose. At least those Zealots didn't have any shields, so the Ghost did his job.
Yeah.
He'll be remembered in the Ghost Hall of Fame.
Puzzle, maybe thinking about swinging over to the 4th. Is there a Ghost Hall of Fame?
Well, there is, but it's mostly populated by the guys from Pac-Man. A lot of dead ghosts there. And the Planetary...
That's pretty dead, too.
Dying, too. Yeah, wow. 4th base being taken up by TaeJa. He needs to get some damage done now, and he's going for it.
And we'll see if these Templar are going to be enough to hold back the forces for a while. Very smart just to run a couple of units up, and he does actually coax a couple of those storms out of there, only taking one, and that didn't do all that much damage. Yeah. So we'll see if TaeJa can continue pressing and doing some damage. But here comes Puzzle from around the side. He's got a lot of charge lots sitting there, even some Templars still in the mix, and of course those ever so powerful Colossi.
Oh, the EMP is not being so good right now. The Ghost surrounded and getting covered with storms and Colossus fire as well. EMP going down on some of the units, and it looks like TaeJa has a lot of damage in that army, forcing back Puzzle for now. TaeJa looking pretty good so far, but the storm damage is starting to add up a little bit. 2
of the Colossi have fallen. Oh, wow, the Nexus does get taken out, so a base for a base there. TaeJa starting to equalize the economic damage he took before, and he has trapped the army from this third base.
Yep, TaeJa with a big enough army to just kind of power his way through here. It looks like Probe's not the best fighting units, even with those armor upgrades, and it looks like TaeJa may be on the verge of taking this game. Team Liquid might be still in this here.
Yeah, a few Zealots warping in, but that's not going to be enough. Big loss there for Puzzle, and it looks like he is going to go down. His third base going to fall here in a second. Another base is finished over at the top left-hand corner, but he's not able to get any units over there. Now that's all the energy from the Metapacks, but still not enough there.
A little bit too late on those feedbacks there. GG. And Puzzle taken down by Liquid TaeJa. I almost said SlayerS TaeJa again there. And we have ourselves a